Alrighty, I've got the video going just now, but so everybody, I had to have my hitch raised up for the unit that I'm getting ready to tow, and I had to go somewhere. I went to this place right here. Oops, let me zoom out. And they super needed to get out their big tools to raise that, and I'll explain more later. So the boys are inside getting new bolts and things like that for me. They said I'm gonna have to go down to Fastenal because the one nut looked like it was getting pretty stripped out, but I was pretty defeated last night when I was trying to hook to the unit because the email said that it said, oh, you can't see it. It says the standard height required to move the units is 24 to 28 inches. And so they got the tape measure out. And just to haul that unit, that hitch is going to need to be raised all the way up to the top just to make the 24 inches. So I'm kind of glad I happened by this way. Well, not really by choice. I thought I could deal with it myself, but it was super tight. This bar here, when they were loosening it, this bar had a bow in it, I'm telling you. So it made me feel better. Because I was pretty defeated last night. I had gotten to the yard at 10 o'clock and at night, and I just thought it'd be an easy fix. Oh, they're back. Hold on.
So then the nut from the bottom one needs to go here.
Alrighty guys, I'm out of there. They got it done. 20 bucks well spent, which for me is super cheap. Like I said last night, I felt so defeated, and I just couldn't get it. My impact wrench, all of that, I just fought with it to the point that I was fatigued and my body was shaking, my muscles were fatigued, and I thought, you know what, just gonna go to bed, deal with it in the morning, and I'm glad I did. Watching them struggle with it though, and the way that bar was bending and the way they were trying to get that loose, I felt a lot better, because sometimes I feel like a wimp, but this time I really wasn't a wimp. And I didn't have the right size tool. I thought it was 1 1/4. It was actually 30 millimeters, so I know that played a part in it, but out of desperation, they said I may need to go to like a semi place with bigger tools, but they did eventually end up getting it. But I'm like, okay, is there one in town? Where do I need to go? Because I got to get this done. So I'm on my way to the unit now to pick back up, or to get it picked back up, and it's gonna be a great day. It is. The sun is shining, and it's, I don't know what, it's 38 degrees, but it's really not that bad. And so I don't suspect any troubles. Now that I got the hitch all squared away, everything should go fine. So, alrighty, I'll catch you over there. Alright everybody, second time worked much better than the first time. I am hooked to a 33-foot travel trailer, picking up in La Grande, Oregon. I think it's La Grande, I don't know. Going to Fairfield, California. When I chose this load, of course, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pick it up until Friday, which turns out I ended up picking it up on Friday because of the hassle with the hitch, but, well, whatever. Why was I telling you this? Oh, Monday delivery in Fairfield, California, and I'm like, oh, that's good, that'll give me something to do over the weekend. I'll walk you around the outside so you can see the outside of the unit, but you're not going to be able to see inside. You'll find out in a minute why. Oops, let me do this. There we go. So, and in case it's unclear just how gorgeous of an area this is, I'm going to pan the camera around so you can see, well, it's just beautiful. Maybe I should zoom in. Now check it out. Yes, sirree, Bob. This is God's country. I don't care who you are. This is God's country. Okay, I've submitted my paperwork, my pre-trip paperwork, my pre-trip pictures. I'll do a yard exit call here in a bit. I've got to drop off a couple of pieces of paper at the mailbox by the gate. And I got to track down some permits. Maybe I'll do that before I leave the yard. Anyway. We're getting really close to travel time. The permit notification says I need a permit for Idaho and Nevada, and I went, I don't want to mess with permits. So I routed myself a different way. It added an hour to my trip, and I don't have to get permits, and I am okay with that. So. And sometimes Google Maps puts you on a gravel road. Maybe it's a little dramatic and maybe it's a little overkill, but I did 10 miles an hour on this gravel road because the rocks and stuff. Even though I've got the mud flaps and all of that to protect the unit, I certainly don't want any damage. And I'm like, this is really a nice drive. It's taking me forever to go the short miles. My choice. I looked at Squirt and I said, you know, it probably would have been faster to go the other way had I known about the gravel, but it's alright. Beautiful countryside here. The people living on this road, they have got a view. Here, let me see if I can show you the view. Their view right up against the, well, not up against, but the base of that mountain. Professor, what is that? Morning, everybody. Update from Fairfield, California. I got in here yesterday, and I always pull into the customer first thing so that I can get my hub, log out, and so forth. Well, they were open, but they weren't taking units because the service department wasn't here. And I thought, okay, I'll just find a Walmart to park at. When I get over there and it's crowded, the parking lot's crowded, and they've got signs that says no overnight parking. So after I'd finished with everything, I come back over here to the customer, and they want you to park on the street anyway. There are signs on the street that says no parking vehicles over 8 foot high, but the customer had told me that the police won't say anything, so I just parked here. I thought, handy. There's a convenience store right there, bathrooms, food. Their bathrooms are out of order, so now I got to move my location. So I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I got to go somewhere because we need amenities and food and stuff like that. It happens. All right, I found a new place to park about a couple miles from the customer. Little place called, it's a Power Mart. And you go in there and it's like a little mini grocery store. And I'm like, oh cool, there's fresh fruit and veggies. They've got fruit, they've got pineapple from Peru and Puerto Rico, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So I gotta try that later. I'll probably buy a little container of cottage cheese to go with it. But I got some breakfast items, took advantage of the amenities. So I asked if I could park here, and she said the manager will be in the morning. Come in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'll be gone in the morning. I said I just want to know if I could park here for the day and overnight. She goes, well, I don't want to say one way or the other. I said, that's okay. I said, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to park it. If somebody runs me off, then they run me off. I said, but I'm going to stay here. And I've got the sun coming in. It's kind of sunny. It's partly sunny. So it's nice. So I'm going to chill. I got my Sunday morning meeting stuff to do, and I'll be just chilling. We like chilling, right? Chloe. Is that Chloe back there? Yes, ma'am. Oh, I know how I can stir her up. Watch this. What? Told you. She's smart. Chloe, one smart little girl. This is her pill. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We will get you your pill. Bye. So, for those of you who do not know, Squirt is a bully. Check it out. She's guarding the dog food. And her and Chloe have got this conversation going on. Yep, she's mean. I think I'll break up the monotony and take him out for a walk or something. She's bad. You bad. You a big bully bad. Morning, everybody from Tehachapi, California. Alrighty, so I did get to unload yesterday, and normally I would say it was a successful delivery, but this time it was not. While they were doing the inspection on the unit, they found a small scuff on the nose of the unit where it looked like the bed of my truck scraped the coating off of the, I don't know, it looks like one of those kind of, you know, like rhino lining where you can put it on the bed of your truck and it'll protect it from chips and stuff. Well, the nose of this camper looked like it had a sort of a rhino lining on it, and the bed of my truck got into it and put a little hole in the rhino lining. Check it out. So of course I'm mad because I'm probably going to lose my $1,500 deposit and probably my safety miles, which means I'll have to start all back over accumulating safety miles until I reach 25,000 accident-free miles to where I can self-dispatch myself. Self-dispatch. Well, that was redundant. But anyway, I'm more upset about losing the ability to self-dispatch because I worked hard for that. I was really proud. And it made me mad too because I'm like, I try I'm really extra super careful with these units when I tow them. I tow them like they're my own because I'm taking care of them and I don't want to lose my deposit and stuff. And then I saw that and I'm like, are you serious? So that kind of ruined my day yesterday. So I didn't feel like filming yesterday because I was in a mood. But I couldn't stay mad for too long because I had a goal and I wanted to go to San Francisco because there was something in San Francisco I wanted to see. And I'll share that. No, I won't. There wasn't nothing to share because the place wasn't open, but there was an art gallery in San Francisco that I'd been dying to go and see ever since I'd found out about it. It's special to me. And so I left San Francisco and I started heading south and checking the reload board. And I found a load that loads in Missouri going to somewhere in Florida. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that because I gotta start working my way east to get Squirt her pills. So I'm on my way and I stopped last night wherever that is back there, to Apache or whatever it's called. And I get up this morning and I'm checking my email and I get an email from my dispatcher. They send these emails out every now and then when there's certain loads that they've just got to get moved, and they call them their hot loads. And there'll be some hot loads that load out of Indiana, some with destinations to Canada, and then some that are on the reload board. And I saw one on the reload board and I responded to it. I didn't really want the load. I had seen it yesterday and I turned it down because it was only 70 cents a mile. But 70 cents a mile, right, it's all about the perspective. 70 cents a mile is better than empty. And it gets me to Indiana. Then from there I can get a load going south so Squirt can get her pills. Squirt needs her pills. So I've been undispatched from the load that picked up Missouri, and I'm redispatched on a load that loads out of Denver, Colorado. So I'm on my way that way now. And I can tell you, I know why this area has a lot of windmills. I mean, right there all night long, the wind, just something terrible. And then this morning, I'm trying to fuel, and I wasn't having very good success fueling, because one thing about truck stops that you should know, the nozzles are designed to distribute a lot of fuel for the semis. So when you're fueling in a pickup, and you're trying to get that massive amount of fuel flowing through a little bitty nozzle, that handle will keep clicking off and off and off, and so you kind of got to sit there and hold it and babysit it and then when the handle clicks shut off too many times, it'll just stop the whole pump thing, and it says see cashier. So I didn't take on near as much fuel as I wanted. I took on like 10 gallons, and at almost $5 a gallon, that's okay too, but I need to get out of California. But I'm like freezing in the wind, so all up in it. I'm not going to switch the camera because my windshield's dirty, but all on the tops of the hills, the windmills everywhere. I used to find that fascinating when I was younger. Actually, I still do, but I'm not as ooh about it as I used to be. So, anywho, I'm on my way to Denver. It's gonna be a great day. But I'm making some changes to my truck. I ain't telling you what they are till they're done because I don't. Last time I sent out a teaser for a project that was happening, that project fell through, and I never did get to share anything about it. But there's some changes to this truck, and I'm gonna make it. So I'm gonna just thank everybody for watching, and I'm just gonna keep remembering to remind you that it's all about the perspective, guys.